People say the economy wouldn't work when you use a deflationary currency, however. When I see something I am contemplating of buying getting cheaper over time, well then I will just buy it after some time, don't I? If I see the prices of pizza getting lower, great, I can buy more for my friends. Or the price of something staying the same, but portions getting bigger. This is such a happy place, where everything gets better over time. Restaurants don't need to reduce their portion prices or raise their prices, instead they can reduce them and make everybody happy. That's such a happy world we could live in. I guess the reduction of economical growth caused by the effect that people only buy stuff if they need it, because tomorrow everything will be cheaper, is exactly the solution of all our ecological problems that we have. It outweighs the negative ecological effect of mining by many orders of magnitude. The inherent economical growth pressure that comes from inflation is the root of the ecological destruction of this planet. It wouldn't work for people with debt, or who can't grow into the debt. Deflationary currencies or deflationary environments are good for people who know how to live without fake money or access to credit. Deflation is good. I'd like to introduce those morons to the spectacularly phenomenal period of time known as the Industrial Revolution. A century of growth with basically no major recessions, all fueled by a deflationary gold standard. The argument that people will hoard money in a deflationary environment is beyond stupidity. Like people would rather starve. In a deflationary environment, the only change we'll see is that people will spend money on value, not garbage. Two fallacies with your argument. I want pizza now, but pizza tomorrow will be cheaper, so you're hungry now, more hungry than greedy for tomorrow's bigger pizza. Improvement-striving deflationary environment are large F booths price if tomorrow tea happen across all technologies. TVs are massively cheaper now than in the 80s, but pizza hasn't. Might make sense to wait on a TV purchase, but no sense in waiting for pizza price to deflate. This basic logic a child can understand debunks thousands of pages of Keynesian sophistry trying to brainwash people into thinking their cost of living going up is somehow good for them. The problem with a deflationary currency is we always have to account for more people. People grow exponentially. To accommodate that we need exponential growth of money and debt. Hence record-breaking inflation. So more people, more money, more debt, the mess we're currently in, where a loaf of bread will cost $20 in my lifetime. I don't know if a deflationary currency is the answer, but I don't see a happy ending to fiat currency either, and I'm happy to try it. An economy based on obsolescence won't work. If your job is just a result of some corporation having access to cheap debt and overexpanding, it will not exist in the future. If your job does not provide value to others, it will no longer work in a deflationary monetary regime. Doesn't the top 1 have more money than the bottom 50? You can argue that societies is not working now. It wouldn't work because it is designed not to work that way. The current economy is designed to take your wealth and give it to the top, so they can trickle a few drops back down. It is wholly dependent on inflation. It is a feature of a bug. If an inflationary currency promotes overconsumption of resources, does that mean a deflationary currency promotes a more sustainable level of consumption? It's a question I've thought about a lot as a Bitcoiner and a minimalist. Please read the book Fraud Coin. Worth it in every way possible. It also supports the view of inflation being bad. Who knew money could be so complicated? I just wanted to buy coffee with it. I mean, if the price of a pizza went from $20 to $15, that is quite a considerable drop, although I don't think I'd look at it as I will now buy 2 pizzas instead of 1. I would instead be happier with a more justified 1 pizza purchased. Well, it is great for everyone who has money, but bad for everyone does not. I think inflation by creating money out of nothing is not the problem. The problem is the distribution of that money. Creating money out of nothing would be great if it was fairly distributed, but with the current system it is not, but ends in the pockets of the rich who didn't had a problem to afford something in the first place. Yeah, this argument is also dumb cause it assumes deflationary prices in real time. In reality it would be like regular inflation. Year over year you don't notice it. Then one day the sale price is the real price. Here's the best example: tech has gotten cheaper every year since the 80s TVs, computers ect. Yet we still buy new tech all the time. We don't wait till next year when it might be 2.4 cheaper or 1.6 better. The notion that people will hold off buying things in a deflationary environment is silly in the long term. You're gonna wait 5, 10, or 20 years to buy a TV because it will be cheaper then? Do you want to just not watch any TV that whole time? Or maybe you consider your time more valuable and you want to watch TV right now. Today. There's a new show on Netflix that you want to watch right away, not 10 years from now. Deflation is the utopia we should be experiencing because of automation. Deflation should be our 20 hours work week. Hey Bob, the new Bitcoin price adjustment is published. We are cutting your pay 10 effective immediately. Have a good weekend. With decentralized deflationary money. 1. People will consume less and save more. 2. You don't need to be a financial genius to build a nest egg. 3. Limited debt means slower but more sustainable growth. 4. Elitists with access to government power can't print themselves massive paychecks. 5. Companies focus on building high-quality products that are meant to last. With a deflationary currency I am not quick to parting with my hard money. You would really need to convince me to do it. So maybe growth is much slower than with an inflation currency. But you can bet that in a deflationary environment, producers are going to push themselves to higher standards in order to achieve selling you a product or service. It's a horrible idea and you ironically explain why. Read the first sentence again. Nice thought but very naive. We already experienced this with TVs. No one complained. Bitcoin isn't really deflationary, except in the case where the loss rate is greater than the production rate. It is disinflationary, however, in that every 4 years the production rate is cut in half. Damn, I really started a discussion here. Ooh. Deflation leads to increased postponement of demand and more willingness to do work for money now. That is a good thing. I want to use a deflationary currency for my day-to-day purchases and Bitcoin is the best contender. Hoarding is a major problem that inflation solves. Currency is not meant to be held. Counterpoint Japan. However, they are full of shit because it's never been done. Who knew money could cause so much drama? Smiley face, but hey, if it leads to energy abundance and lower phone prices, count me in. Mobile phone, money bag. How would they know? One has never existed before. Whatever the case may be, I'll keep getting more BTC until I can. Increases inflation to make buying power decrease. Cryptocurrency is not immune to this for stuff paid with cash as much as paying bills or buying food. There is talk that companies raise prices as cover for any large-scale crises to make money, which can cause inflation on a wide level. Also, I always think about how the supply of Bitcoin is always going to reduce, block rewards half and coins in circulation get lost, forgotten keys, etc. Surely this will make Bitcoin more and more valuable as time goes on. That in itself drives growth at a macro scale, and creates a person's very own savings account. If they hodl, their value goes up. Or am I missing something? One of the reasons I think we need a delivery currency is because of how powerful late-stage capitalism has become. In a world that's expertly marketed to spend, having a reason to hold on to some savings will help balance the imbalance. Pretty sure prices won't keep getting cheaper and it'll just rely purely on supply-demand for a particular good with no external pressure from monetary inflation. 5/6. Is this why Michael Saylor and I are balls deep? Except for the depression that would accompany that. I like sound money as much as the next person, but let's not pretend that deflation is good.